This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for Wednesday, February 16th. Yesterday, we talked about the dating phenomenon known as groundhogging. Follow-up to that, the Tinder Blind Date. Why do we think everybody who listens to this podcast is single? I don't know. Also,
well, even if you're not, even if you are in a relationship, it's good to know. Gives you hope that if anything should happen.
Throwback Thursday tomorrow for Burger Revolution. We'll unveil our theme and our songs. You can hit our socials to get your vote in ahead of Family Day. Right off the top, I had to get out the old heart defibrillator around the radio station today because Charity can't handle the Olympics.
I cannot.
It's
very exciting
when
I see our Olympians in action.
Tried to get her to watch the
short track
medal,
speed skating.
5,000 meters. That's 5 kilometers. Watching through your fingers, you couldn't even watch.
Well, because
Charles
I
Hamlin.
really wanted Charles to win. I shouldn't say Charles. I wanted Canada to win, and Charles Hamlin is one of those stories that has come out through this Olympics. It's his fifth time as part of the Winter Olympics. His last time going to the Olympics, and he could have became the winningest Olympian because there were 3 events he was to compete in this time around, and if he had won a medal in each, then he would have had the most medals of any Olympian here in Canada.
Right.
He didn't do that. But instead went out with a gold medal, which is just incredible. So as they're as they're skating around the track, racing around the track, you so much want Canada to win as a country, but
you
for
couldn't
Charles
even watch
himself.
it.
No, I couldn't. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, if I look, he's going to crash. If I look, something's going to happen. Someone's going to trip and take out our team and we're going to lose. And I really didn't want that to happen. So I couldn't. So I had to keep my head turned and watch. CBC has a great website following the Olympics. So it's in real time. So I could watch the screen, not the actual race, as they went lap for lap to see where we placed.
Right.
And to see the times of everything. So I was kind of watching, but to actually see them, I couldn't do it.
On behalf of Canadians everywhere, thank you for not watching so that we could win the gold medal.
But I have a question, and maybe someone can answer this. And it came up between you and I, because during these races, the speed skating, they have a final and a B final. And the women also were competing this morning. And on the women's side, in the 15-meter short track speed skating, final A, final B. And in final B, we actually placed 3rd.
Okay.
But the medals went to final A. So what is the purpose of
I don't know. Is that like
final
a
B?
Consolation?
I don't know. I don't know. And that's my question. Why? Why do you have these 2 groups of 7 and they both race, but only Group A gets medals? What does Group B get?
Sounds like a Google question. You'll have to spend some time. Do you want me to sit here while you look that up?
Do you want me to?
No.
Okay. Then I will just put
Later.
it out there. I'm hoping someone can answer that because
Somebody will.
Really don't know. I
Text
don't
us.
know.
613-962-0955. Text us.
Because final B went first with our Canadian athletes in that group, and we watched it and we placed 3rd, and we're like, oh, good. Okay. So what does that mean? And then nothing.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nobody skated around
Group
with a
A
flag.
went and they got their medals, and Group B still left. So what's the point? What's the purpose of
World
that?
ranking. Maybe.
Okay.
That's it. Well, they trained to get another race.
And now the men's, at the time that we're doing this, the men's hockey team is playing Sweden in the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, second
No
period.
score.
No score. So that when you hear it, you're going to know the answer. Either we're going to be like, yeah, or oh.
Yeah. And with the U.S. getting beat out yesterday, I don't want to put the egg before the chicken here. The cart before the horse.
Or mix your metaphors.
Sure. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Don't want to be eating crow like Jimmy Hollywood.
Yeah, because he was really mugging up the U.S. win over Canada in the round robin, and not so much this morning. But the women's gold medal game between Canada and the United States goes 11:10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So major nap time, or just be very young and stay up.
I may try and stay up for this.
Hey?
I may. It's the gold medal game.
I know.
It's Canada and the U.S.
Right.
Is being tired tomorrow worth it? That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Hey, we'll make it work. Because I know that's why you're doing it.
Because that's what you do. You make it work with me every day. So why would tomorrow be any different?
If they win it, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? If they win it, that's pretty well a 3-hour show. You know,
if Canada wins it,
knocked
what
off
if
the United
US
States
wins it? Then we got to listen to Jimmy at 7:50.
Oh, I don't want to. Oh my gosh. Funny guy, but he'll needle you.
Oh, and he won't let it go. He will not let that go.
So Brad Gushue's in line for a medal in curling. We're going to get one tonight with hockey. We are at 18 now, so we're guaranteed to hit the 20 plateau. And then no doubt some other ones.
Then you asked a very interesting question after, because we do this recap in the morning. And when we turned off our mics, you said, well, we should be able to get more medals. 20's not going to be it. What's coming up? And we both looked at each other. I don't know what comes up after hockey. I don't know what comes up. I don't know what else.
Women's figure skating still has to go. That's a big one that I know about. And but I lose track of the slopes, like who's doing what.
Yeah, there's a lot of skiing still happening today. But it's funny how you have certain, and curling too. Should mention the curling continues too.
Yeah.
But it's funny how you have not specific, but certain
they're benchmark sports
events. That you do just. For myself anyway, of course, and everyone. You have certain events that you watch, and then it becomes like, oh yeah, what else is still going on? What's still to happen?
I thought Canada did well in skeleton. Is skeleton come and gone? Is that
I think so.
Yeah.
I heard a little bit about skeleton on Monday. I don't see
John Montgomery won us a medal, and then he went on to do the Amazing Race Canada. So that's his claim to fame.
And did he do well on the Amazing Race?
Well, I don't know. He hosts it. You know, he's got a TV show. We don't.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, sorry.
John Montgomery, right?
John Montgomery. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he won an Olympic medal in skeleton. So I mean, it's legit. Sports dangerous. You got to be crazy to do it.
The biathlon is coming up.
That's great. And poor wrong way reader. From Norway. This guy was in the gold medal position, had a 44-second lead over everybody, which in that sport is like a day and a half. That's like a lot.
It's huge.
He came to a fork in the path. Why? I don't know. Went the wrong way. Poor guy had COVID when he got here, so he didn't get a chance to do the track. Despite that, still went out and completely annihilated the field, but went the wrong way. Why isn't there a sawhorse or a gate? Because part of biathlon isn't memorizing the track.
No.
That's not part of it. Mm-mm. You just have to now ski to the finish line. They don't disguise where it is. They don't fool you. No, that's not part of it. It's like, well, he went the wrong way. Well, why is it even possible to go the wrong way? Have you ever heard of a 100-meter race where we're not going to tell you where the finish line is? No, everybody is well aware.
It needs to be clearly marked.
Yeah, I don't know. Poor guy.
Yeah, he is.
But then got back on the track, finished eighth.
But to have that, he was ahead by 44 seconds. And he was slated to win. Everybody thought, again, Norway, the Netherlands, those countries. Like he was going to win gold. He went in with that.
I think that's awful. I think that's embarrassing for the organizers to do that on a track.
Because as you said, too, not his fault.
It's not his fault.
No.
It's like, well, okay.
But
and you can
every
say, well,
athlete's
everybody
worst nightmare,
right? Oh my gosh, yeah, right.
It's like Canada and Sweden playing, and you score in your own goal, or score in your own net. Yep. It's just one of those moments where you just pray it never happens. It can't happen. No, it can't.
Summer Olympics, and you're running a marathon. Take a wrong turn because it's open. Why would that road be open?
Could you imagine the Tour de France?
Right, exactly.
You take the wrong corner.
Yeah, somebody doesn't put something.
Field.
Yeah. Or, you're coming down off the mountain and there's a lane and there's no. Okay, well there you go.
That's where I go.
That's where I go.
And you're right. For that to just be the only way that a mistake like that can be made seems so random.
You got to make it because their minds are on the Olympics. Their minds on this is a beautiful countryside.
Yeah,
I wonder what's down this path. They're not tourists. They're Olympians winning gold. Oh, well, we'll make them decide. We'll see how bright he is after doing this for 2 hours.
Yeah, see where his head's at.
Makes me crazy.
It's one of those. Just another story to come out of the Olympics.
But they're all great, and Canada off and rolling. So we'll have more about that coming up tomorrow morning. And we also talked about, after yesterday's groundhogging, where if you're in relationships and everyone starts out the same, goes the same way, and ends the same way because you keep picking the same type of people. That's called groundhogging. It's like your love life is like Groundhog Day. You keep doing them, making the same mistakes. So they talk about getting out of your comfort zone to try and meet people you otherwise wouldn't meet because that's where you may find something really, really special. And you mentioned the story of you and your husband.
Yeah.
Tinder overheard our conversation yesterday.
Oh, did they?
And they have created the Tinder Blind Date. And I really like this one because Tinder's based, of course, on photos.
Yes.
And profiles.
Well,
so you look at, but
dating
mostly
apps are.
Yeah,
the focus is that, and I hate to say it, I think all of us don't want to judge a book by its cover, but it's the cover that we see first.
That's what it is.
It's that visual reaction that leads us to continue.
And so Tinder probably thought, and this is my thought on it, that somebody's going to come up with a dating site that's not going to use photos, and we want to be that site too. So they've offered what they call Blind Date. So rather than a photo or a profile, you answer an icebreaker question. So a couple of them are, it's okay to wear a shirt blank number of times without washing it. Another one is, I put ketchup on blank. So they're just fun questions. Then, supposedly...
Fun, but they're also, that can
little
tell you
insightful.
a lot
Right.
about
Gives you a little
the
bit
people.
of insight.
Yeah, you get to know them a little bit.
I don't like ketchup at all.
I know.
So if I were going to be dating, I would click on somebody who said, I put ketchup on nothing, because that's what I would put. Ketchup on nothing. Or maybe I would be intrigued with somebody who said, I put ketchup on everything.
Would that intrigue you?
I don't know. Like, it's like, okay, that's the other, like, let's see why she does that. Or, it's okay to wear a shirt, one time without washing it. It's like, okay, well, that person's
exactly.
a little,
if someone says, well, no, you can get a good 3-4 wears out of it. It's like,
2 or 3.
Okay,
Like,
so you're not clean.
Okay.
I'm going to go somewhere.
But based on that.
those, that reaction.
You click on it. Now you're into your conversation. And then based on the little conversation you have, you would swipe right. Then you get the pictures.
So you get to know them a little bit.
A little bit different view as to why you would have chosen that person. And it's called the blind date.
I like it.
So when you talk about groundhogging, the notion that you would actually meet the person before you see the person gives you a different view as to why you felt, quote unquote, attracted in the first place, not just photo. Because Tinder's got to have read the exact same thing I saw, is that when men go on Tinder, for every 100 views that they do, they swipe right on 60. 60 of 100. Men choosing women like crazy. Do you know how many women out of 100 swipe right on guys?
Well, if men are 60, I'm going to say they're 25.
4.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Out of 100?
Out of 100. Women, and it's
We're picky.
because, no, women aren't just looking at pictures.
Well, no, of course
right?
not.
So if there's a hint, and I'm not saying it's superficial, I think it's far more important. If there's a hint of, what this gentleman does for a living is in there. Okay, that tells me a little bit about his character, a little bit about his education level, things like that aren't just, oh, what does she look like? Oh, she's a babe, I'll swipe right. Because you're not interested in a lifetime, you're interested in the next 24 or 48 hours. Women view Tinder differently as a way to make it, but I want to see what it would look like in a relationship. So Tinder's kind of, let's start a little bit of the ice-breaking relationship before we get to the pictures and see what that does too.
And
so
it's just another option, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like when you sign up for Tinder, that's how it's going to be. That's just an option. So you can then choose if you want to do
the blind.
this.
Yeah, because if you've been groundhogged, the last 5, flare out all the same way. Let's have some fun, see if I can meet some person now. And then you would meet somebody like the guy I mentioned yesterday who would never have dated a pregnant woman, but saw her on Tinder and thought she just looked interesting. There was something about her. Ends up helping her deliver the baby, and now he thinks he wants to be the dad to the baby. Never would have happened. So crazy how that works.
If you keep an open mind,
right,
and look outside the box, it can be amazing what you find.
And tomorrow's Throwback Thursday for Burger Revolution. Visit burgerrevolution.ca where you'll see the February Burger of the Month with a donut bun and goodness inside.
As I mentioned this morning, I always get not notifications, but it always seems when I'm hungry, Burger Revolution pops up on every feed, every social page I'm on. It's like, okay, are you trying to tell me something? Do I need to get some?
It's not spring yet.
Burgers, some sweet. I love their sweet potato fries
I know,
too.
it's
It's a
good.
great side to have with their burgers.
In Canada on Monday, in Ontario on Monday, it is Family Day, statutory holiday, where we all supposedly spend time with our families. Now, kids go play at the neighbors. So that's what the day is supposed to be for. So in honor of that, we have our favorite family groups, and I literally
You are
almost
kicking my butt.
tore my ACL running to get the Bee Gees songs ready. So, but I went with Staying Alive. So Staying
It
Alive
wasn't
by
the Bee Gees song I thought you would go with.
I know.
I knew you
I
would
know.
go with Bee Gees. I did not think that would be your first choice.
Well, I'm a little competitive, and I knew I could win with that one.
Well, and you clearly are. Even though it hasn't been a complete shutout. Jackson 5, I Want You Back,
No,
have gotten a
top notch.
handful of votes.
Top
and it's
notch.
funny too, because if you win, I'm going to throw that out. I will take a video of you dancing because you've already given me a sample of it when we played the clip earlier
Yeah,
this morning.
it's a keeper.
I'm going to take that video and put it up against my Jackson 5 dance that I did, if you recall, because I've used this song before and
Right.
it won.
Okay.
Last time I used it.
So
Of me
tomorrow,
dancing.
right.
So I'm going to put a video, I'm going to put it side by side and we can put those up too if you want.
So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my white pants
I was going to say, you're going to wear your,
and my.
are you going to wear the wig?
I'll wear the wig if you want,
And the
and
shirt?
the shiny shirt,
Okay.
and I'll give you a show if it wins. If not,
it
then-
wins,
yeah,
okay.
If it wins, if it doesn't win, I'm not just doing this for free. You got paid
Well,
for this.
I thought it would be kind of fun to put both of us up dancing to generate votes. But if you're waiting until you win, then I'm going to have to
Then,
rethink that.
Oh, I got to at least get my song before I put.
No, come on, Mark.
I
Come
would
on.
never embarrass myself.
No, I know. You
for
don't.
clicks, ever.
Ever.
Or listening.
Ever.
Get your votes in on that winning song after the 8 o'clock news coming up tomorrow morning. Enjoy
We
your
did
day.
it last
okay?
week, I think, with our own Olympics. Yes, you too.
Yes. Good luck staying up tonight for the
Oh,
game.
good.
11
I'm
o'clock. Canada and the United States
I'm going
women's
to try,
hockey.
I think.
Gold medal game.
know.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast here on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Updated by 11 o'clock out of 95.5 Hits FM Studios in Belleville, Ontario, Canada. Enjoy your Wednesday.